everyone, my name is Kathy.
And I'm Koi, and I am every woman.
Today, guys, we're going to talk about something very useful. We will be talking about mom hacks.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong.
What are the things as moms that we do to make our lives easy, to make our lives manageable? And therefore, today we have a guest. Now, this guest is a good friend of ours. It's someone I've personally known for a number of years, well, a lot of years. And she is great at the kind of thing we're going to be talking about today. Her name is Irene from Hairy Lifestyle. She's also a YouTuber.
Yay.
And maybe I will start with her. Irene, you want to say something?
Hi guys, my name is Irene from Hairy Lifestyle, and today I'm hanging out with these beautiful ladies in their channel. Yay.
We're so happy to have you. So guys, her YouTube channel is Hairy Lifestyle, and she discusses things lifestyle and what else?
Health, wellness, DIY.
Yeah. So please head on over to her channel and make sure you subscribe. Tell her that we sent you there, okay?
Yes.
Yeah. So, as women, especially in our African setting, and I don't think it's just our African settings, we run the home a lot of times. We know what's going on in the home. We know what's going to be eaten. We know how things are going to work in the home.
Yeah.
And that can be tough. Actually, I feel, honestly, and this might be biased or not, that's why women make great CEOs. Because we juggle a lot of things in the home already.
The small details.
Exactly. And so we want to help each other, let the women help each other. How do you make your work manageable? How do you make it easy? And so we are all moms, all in different situations. I am a widow and therefore a single mom. She is divorced, also a single mom. Irene is married. A mom, right? Yeah. So we're all moms running homes in different situations. I have 2 children, she has 1 children, Irene has 3 children. Yeah. That is how it works. And so today we're all going to share what hacks have worked for us. For each one of us might help someone. In the comments, throw in other hacks. Yeah. Someone might be helped. So I'm going to start with
our guest.
Yeah.
If you could just tell us something as a mom hack. And by the way, guys, Irene is big on DIY.
Yeah.
For those who are familiar with her and those who will go to her channel, go and see. She's great at DIY, cutting costs, don't spend a shilling more than you should. Yeah. We really think that's what you should start with.
Definitely. I'll have to start with DIY. And you're right. I honestly do love DIY. And I know some people DIY to save money. I feel like if I was rich, I would still DIY.
Sorry. Could you please tell us what DIY stands for?
Oh, DIY stands for do it yourself.
Exactly.
Instead of buying that thing, make it yourself, and learn to do that. And I love the process of creating. And every time I see things out there and I see how they're priced and all that, I'm always thinking, I can do this. And it will cost me less, and I'll enjoy it, and it will even be better.
Yes.
So I'm all about DIY, and how I hack is by making things for myself and making them in bulk. So you'll find me making body hair butter that we use as a family, and I've made this for my kids since they were born.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, since they were born, for many, many years. So we're using this for our body, hair, for everything. You'll find me making my own granola. You'll find that I make my own granola. My kids really, really enjoy it. And especially now that they're older. The younger ones, funny enough, they don't seem to like granola. I don't know, it's because you have to chew it more. It's coarse and all that. Yeah. But the older ones really love it. It's an easy breakfast for them. Although sometimes they don't. It's a healthy, filling breakfast and quick.
Yes.
quick, because at this age they go to school very early, so they need a quick thing.
Yes.
It's also their go-to meal when they come home, go-to snack. They're looking for that quick thing. You'll find me making my own yogurt and all that. I love making yogurt. Before I came today, that's the thing that I did. I made sure I set up my 3 liters of yogurt and all that. So the process of making things for myself, I totally enjoy, and making it good and better than store-bought.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh wow. So first and foremost, just making your yogurt and also your granola. That's an entire snack, like granola in the yogurt.
Yes.
And so you have control over what ingredients to use, so that is healthier. Less sugar. But then I think some of us are scared of DIY because we think like it's time consuming. Maybe do you have advice for us who are scared of DIY?
Now, the thing with DIY is you may probably need to invest, if you need to, in a few tools and or repurpose something that you're using at home.
Yeah.
So when you go to my channel, you'll see that I've made yogurt in different ways.
Okay.
I have a gadget. I have an instant pot, an electric pressure cooker that I can use to make yogurt. So as mothers, those are things that you can invest in that will help you have an easier time, because then you can make a lot of yogurt easily in one go. And it's also a multi-purpose cooker that you can use for many things.
Okay.
So yeah, you may need to invest in a few things. That's something I've invested in, but I've also shown how I make yogurt just using a basket. Those things our mothers used to cook, they're called fireless cookers. You know, that insulating basket. Yeah, so I use that a lot as well when I don't want to, because of DIY I like saving money. So hata nikiangalia bei ya stima, I'm like, I think I'll use the basket and all that. So DIY involves a lot of being very creative to work with what you have. Maybe some places you'll invest in something, and then you also learn how to do it in an easier way.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think you gotta love it.
Yeah.
Investigate it.
So I think even if it's time consuming, in essence you save a lot of money.
I save a lot of money, but I also make it in bulk.
Yeah.
You
So
see, so the time factor
is not that
balanced out.
It's balanced out, because I'm buying my ingredients wholesale, of course.
Yeah.
And then I'm making a lot.
Yeah.
So
it
if
will
I
stay
make like
longer.
in my cooker, I can make up to 5 liters of yogurt. If
Yeah,
I make
that's a
5
whole lot.
liters of yogurt, I mean, we are sorted for a few days.
Yeah.
And when I make butter, I'm gonna whip up.
make
I mean, if
butter
I'm
too?
not the shea butter, cocoa. They're now for what we apply.
Oh,
I
okay.
can't make butter,
Ooh.
but that one you don't save anything. I realize you
okay.
don't save much when you make
Oh,
butter,
okay.
and the work
It's
is a lot.
expensive, yeah.
So it evens out. Yeah. So yeah, I make a lot. I make in bulk, and by then that really serves us for a really long time.
Yeah.
So it might consume your time at that time when you're making, but you make a lot. You're
Yeah.
home and dry, and
Okay.
you're happy. You've saved money. You know the ingredients you've used. You're happy with what you've produced, and then it
Yeah.
serves you for a good long while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can control the nutrition. You can control
Yeah.
what your children are taking in.
Yes.
I think we don't pay attention to that enough.
Yeah.
I feel like everything has so much sugar, so much salt, so much everything.
Yeah.
And yet it's store bought and it's convenient, and that's
Yeah.
what we're doing for
Yeah.
our children now.
Yeah.
But for people like us now, I'm seeing people in their mid-40s getting lifestyle illnesses.
Yeah.
And we didn't even
Yeah.
consume as much sugar as our
As
children
our
are
children
consuming.
are consuming,
now.
it's concerning.
So if we are not careful, their lifestyle illnesses will even come earlier.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you just need to look at the ingredients. Just buy something in the supermarket and look. Even that yogurt, you'll be surprised the
There's plenty of
things you
sugar.
see.
Yeah.
Not just even sugar. There's so many
And
ingredients.
chemicals.
You're thinking.
And some you don't even know
you
what
can't
they
even
are.
pronounce. You
Yeah.
don't know. You're thinking yogurt is milk culture. We're done. But then you go and find all this list of this. Then you wonder what are all
All
these.
these,
Yeah, you
yeah.
realize how much is added to
Yeah.
products when
Yeah.
they are being sold commercially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a good one.
I
Yeah.
love it.
It really is.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to save a shilling anyway as well.
Yeah.
And also, I can imagine at some point you also have your children with you. So your
Yeah.
children are learning.
Oh yeah.
It's
yeah.
a bonding activity,
Yeah.
and they're also picking up things from
And
you.
one thing to learn about children learning, and even how we learned, children see what you're doing,
Yeah.
and chances are they'll tell you, "No, I don't know how to do that." They tell me, "I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to make this," but they're watching.
Yes.
Then
They have
one
an
day,
idea.
now that my eldest is 15, I can see her doing things she said she didn't know how to do. Then she starts doing them, and I'm like, so you're watching me, and I can see you're replicating it, you know. And it's just interesting. She goes to school and she tells her friends what her mother does, and they all look at her like, "Hey, your mom." Okay. But they're watching, and you won't know they're watching until they're old enough, and then they do it.
Yeah.
Then you're like, they were watching all this stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, wow, that's good. That's very good. All moms everywhere, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's very helpful.
Yeah.
So please go to Hairy Lifestyle, pick up tricks of DIY and save yourself some money, save your family the trouble.
Yeah.
Save.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to go to you, Koi.
Yeah.
What do you have for us?
Okay, I'll start with a simple one. And this one I picked up during the pandemic. I don't know whether we are allowed to.
Maybe just
lockdown.
Yeah. Appropriate.
Yeah. So I picked this up during that time, and it's in the kitchen and it involves cooking. And so what I picked up is that, because of eating the same thing over and over, we would order out so much and it got very unhealthy. And sometimes you don't want to cook, but then when you're hungry, the quickest thing to order is probably just KFC. And fast food in Kenya has now gotten to a point where they're good bargains. So sometimes it's not that expensive. So it's very easy to fall into. Let's just order in. And so I asked myself, what can I do so that I can make sure that when I'm hungry, I'm not thinking about what is fast and convenient. So what I started doing is that every time I'd make a meal, I'd make a plate extra and freeze it. Not freeze it. Like you see the way we boil beans and freeze beans and then now you have to defrost and then fry them and stew them. No, like an entire meal, serve it up and freeze it. And so I did that until I had meals enough almost for 7 days. So on that random Sunday when the nanny is not there and I'm not feeling like, cooking, me and my daughter just pull out a plate each and eat, and it's healthy.
Wow.
Yeah, and you just warm it up and it's ready. Your ugali, your skuma, your fried meat, and for her maybe she wants rice and beans. Just pull it out and serve. And so I have continued with that even past the lockdown period. And nowadays I always have ready plates frozen, so that I can be able to just pick a plate here and there, and I'm sure that I'm eating something healthy, nothing store-bought. It's food that we've made at home. Yeah.
What I'm liking about what you're saying is when you make every meal, you freeze something extra. So now what you have in your fridge, they're different. It's not just all rice and beans.
Yes.
Like the way when you meal prep,
yes,
then you've made 20 plates of rice and beans.
Yes.
And maybe that's what gets boring.
Yeah.
Because many times you have food in your fridge, but unafungua and then you see rice and beans. No, that's not. But now here, you have chicken, you have biryani, you have, some nice variety. That's really... That's
helpful.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's really helpful. Yeah. This fast food thing, and especially with children and convenience, and as you're saying, KFC now, how much is a 2-pizza? No.
Yeah.
No hard feelings, KFC.
Not
just saying.
It's easy to order from there.
It's not bad, but if you make it a habit.
If you make it a habit,
then it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will talk about one which I think is not new. And I think it's something a lot of people do anyway. And this is bulk buying.
Yeah.
So I really bulk buy. I go into a wholesale shop. I go into the wholesale shop that the wholesalers buy from.
Hey, you need to tell us where that is.
Yeah.
And it's vichochoro and mad and crazy things.
Yeah.
But I pretty much bulk shop twice a year.
Wow.
Only
I'm
twice?
not joking, twice a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So I'll buy my toilet papers in 40s or more. I'll buy my mafuta in the 20 liter.
So you've not even been hit by this oil crisis?
Actually, no.
You already had stock.
I'm jealous.
If it's still on, after some time I will. But yeah, my pantry is something I really put to use. So if I buy spaghetti, I will buy 2 dozens.
Wow.
Or 1 dozen, and pasta 1 dozen, and 20 liters of mafuta, like that. It will cost me, of course, on the day that I'm buying. But if you think that right now I haven't shopped and I feel like I need to shop now, but the last time I shopped was December, we're in June now. The last time I shopped was 6 months ago.
Wow.
If I shop now, the next time I'll shop is 6 months to come.
Wow.
Now that is good if you have a nanny at home who's not wasteful.
Yes.
Because if you have a wasteful nanny,
Yes.
that will work against you.
Yeah.
But I do have a nanny who's not wasteful. And where I felt like maybe soap is being used too much, we just talked about it. We don't have to wash clothes every day. Let's pile up clothes for 3 days so that soap doesn't get used too much.
Yeah.
And that is so helpful. I don't know what to say. It frees your mind. You know, I'll walk into the supermarket and all I'll pick is bread,
Eggs.
you know, eggs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe maize flour. You can't also buy too much flour because at some point
Actually, I wanted to ask you about
but
that.
once in
How
a
have you
while.
had storage?
Yeah, no, there's some things which of course you have to buy, but the ones which you're not worried about, of course you have to check the expiry and things like those. But those, it makes so much sense to bulk buy. It makes you, you know, be easy. It makes you not think about it for a long time.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. At the point
that's
you
good.
have 1 8-pack of toilet paper, then now you're like, okay,
I need to.
now I need to shop.
I think you've saved
Or
so much
you
money
have saved-
just this year
Yeah.
because washing soap.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything has gone up, and everything
Cooking
is going
oil.
up like this. What of everything? Cooking oil, tissue. Every time you go, there's just a gap.
Yeah.
I bought bar soap. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Bar soap the other day, and I couldn't find bar soap below 200 bob. And bar
Here's
soap
the
used to
thing.
be 100.
Don't even just calculate it in that way. Look at it this way. Every time you enter the supermarket, you pick things you didn't need.
Yeah.
You were just going to pick bread, but you end up picking other things.
Other
Yeah.
things.
So when you free yourself from supermarket visits,
Yeah.
you actually already
Also spend
Yeah.
a
save
lot
quite a
less.
bit.
Yeah.
And so, for example, when you have a lot of wheat flour, and we look at the wheat flour and we're thinking we don't want it to go bad, what we end up doing is that we never buy bread. So we bake bread. We bake bread this week, next week we make mandazi.
It forces you to be creative.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
To
you're
use
like,
what
I
you
don't
have
have
to
any more
have.
money. You have food. Figure it out.
Yeah.
So even the nannies has upped her game. You know, today we're baking scones. Tomorrow we're doing, what do they call, hot dog buns. But that's what we're taking with our tea and something.
Yeah.
That really saves you the trouble, the money, you know, peace of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'll definitely borrow that.
I definitely need to know where she
Yeah.
shops.
You need to show us those corners.
Yeah.
That must be
Yeah.
a corner, you know.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Something that has become a major nanny hack, or rather something that has really given us a lot of savings and peace, was moving our children, moving home, moving school, moving office. We did that move all at once, and it wasn't really by design. It just ended up that we needed to move. But I don't know, maybe God had mercy on us and we saw the light. So what we ended up doing is we live within like a 1 kilometer radius to school and to office.
Wow.
Yeah.
How cool is
And
that?
that as
Traffic is a non-issue.
I'm telling you, traffic,
Fuel is a non-issue.
fuel, fatigue for the children.
Give traffic. I wanted to say that.
Fatigue for the children.
This
Because let me
Nairobi
tell you,
has children
it's
waking
crazy.
up at 4 a.m.
Children are
God.
waking up at 4, they're being picked up at 5 and all that. And you know, the more advanced they are in school, the harder it gets.
Yeah.
So I have a child in Form 2 and another one in Class 8. These are very and they're both in day schools. So it's very, very, very demanding. If you let go with the system the way it is, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Because they have to be in class by 6:30.
Yeah.
So now imagine they were being picked by a van. That would
From I
have
don't know
been
where.
at 5 and all that.
Yeah.
And that just worked so well. We saved, first of all, the school was cheaper. Now I'm no longer paying transport. And you know, transport, you're paying something like 15K like per child. Just for them to be taken to and from. And then they can walk.
Yeah.
And that is also good for their health.
Yeah.
Because they have a kilometer walk from school to home.
Yeah.
And they unwind.
Yeah.
And they breathe in some fresh air as they walk and all that. And I also like the fact that they also get to be a bit savvy on how to navigate crossing roads and meeting with strangers. Because, you know, we're doing a lot of pick and drop. Our kids don't even know anything about anything in this Nairobi. You're taking them swimming, you're taking them soccer, you're taking them everywhere. They can't even do anything for themselves. And
You
growing.
stop being mommy, you move to being
Chauffeur.
a chauffeur, yeah?
Yeah.
I really like that, especially the fact that you're saying for exercise and stuff like that. Because as we grew up, we used to walk to school.
We used to, and it used to be long distance.
Let me tell you, when I would feel
distances.
bad about them walking, then I started counting how many times I would walk to school. I'd walk in the morning, I'd come home for lunch, I'd go back to school, and then I'd go home in the evening, and maybe you go for tuition.
And maybe it was a longer distance than
No, it is actually longer.
Yeah.
And you were doing 5 trips or something like that. Now, if I tell my kids not to walk, do you know they refuse? The one in class 8, I'm like, because you're very tired, you have a very heavy workload, can you take school transport? She's like, no.
She wants to
I
walk.
want to walk.
Wow.
That's
My
great.
youngest at 7 is also demanding to walk like her sisters. Because I think there's a release in just walking that distance after being seated in class all day.
It's good, of course.
It's good.
Yeah.
That's
amazing. That's
yeah.
cool. That's a big one.
That's a big one. It's not
That's
easy
for
to
children.
achieve. It's not easy to achieve all those, but you can try at least let your children be close to school.
Yes.
If
At
it's
the very
possible
least.
for you to also be close to work, if you're in business, you're more
Good, yeah, flexible.
But if you're employed, it might not work out. But at least try and minimize these distances. It really is a big saver.
Yeah. And that way you're also able to save a bit of time at home. When the kids get home, they have actual time to rest.
Yeah.
The quality of your lives gets better. Way better.
Especially where we are,
Yeah.
the academic life is very demanding.
Yeah.
So you want to do everything you can to lighten it.
Exactly.
And I have done the other one of pick and drop and leave far. And it was so tiring. My alarm goes off at 5 every day. Now, these days, I mean, it's no big deal. It's not crazy alarms at crazy hours. It's so much more manageable.
Yeah. Wow.
That's great.
That's great.
Yeah, that's great. Okay.
Okay, I'll go next. So for me, the next one is a bit more techie. So obviously you guys know by now I'm a single mom, right? And so let me tell you, it's the ghetto. Having to figure out everything, it's just the ghetto. So what I do is I really take advantage of my phone. I have an app for everything. How I look at it is if I can buy convenience, then let it be. If I can be able to shop, the way you're at work and a call comes in, hey, and then when you see the call from home, you're like, oh crap, what happened? Did my child and then you pick up and they tell you, oh, gas emission.
It's always gas. Always knows when to isha.
So trust me, I have an app that can bring drinking water, bring gas, shop. I can even shop for the entire month when I'm away.
Wow.
From my house. Like I have just made sure that every other gap, like I want to make sure that everything can move even when I'm not there. And nowadays we have so many apps, especially like for the supermarkets. We have these delivery apps and stuff like that. And then what I do is I install all of them. And then on that particular day that I want to order whatever, I look for the one that has a deal.
Okay. Yeah.
And grab the discount.
You can compare.
I even learned that sometimes it's even cheaper to order from the supermarket while at home than going there because they have discounts, and sometimes you have like these influencers online have discount codes. I take advantage of those discount codes, and then if you compare that versus going to the supermarket, first you pay for parking, second you won't get the discount, so you even spend more, then traffic, and maybe you're leaving work early so that you can rush this. No point. So I'll invest in airtime, buy data, install all the apps, Glovo, Jumia, all of them. Then on that particular day, I check, is it Bolt that has a discount? Yes, that's the one we are using today. And I send it home. And that way things move, and I, lift a little bit of load off my chest, and I'm able to just focus on other things.
Other bigger things.
That's necessary. As I love DIY, but I still know where to buy things and buy them well. You go on IG, you find like someone is selling. There's a place where I buy butter for bread, I mean, and it's so much cheaper than the supermarket.
We want
hook up.
It's right there. I'll send you the link because I buy like a kg of butter for 900 bob, and it comes packed into 50-gram packs.
Wow.
So you see, that's convenient. And easy. So I'm also a deal finder. Online, it doesn't mean that you're always saving money, but especially now, supermarkets are competing so hard.
Yeah.
They always have a deal here, a deal there. And what you're saying is when you're caught, we are not always ready.
Yeah.
You'll still be called about gas. You'll still be called about nyanya.
Yeah.
No matter how good, even with bulk shopping, you'll still
Oh
my God, tissue imeisha. There's still something.
Yeah.
So knowing those things, the apps and where to check for discounts works very
It's great.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I'm also a single parent. Single guardian. I don't know what's the politically correct. But anyway, it means that I can't drop the ball.
Yeah.
So what I do in my home also that I would call a hack is I set systems. There are set systems. And I take my time to set the systems. Now, if you're lucky to have a nanny, I currently have a very good nanny. She's great. She runs the home like it's hers. And so you set systems. For example, even food, we were talking about it earlier. Like we have a proper timetable that we've had for years, even before my late husband died, actually. That timetable still stays. Now, the only thing that changes is say if it's ugali, we might eat it with fish today, or beef the next time, or just greens, whatever. But the timetable stays. So you always know what you need for the week. So she will be able to say something like, and we ran out of spaghetti and we don't have spaghetti for Thursday or something like that. Huh? So the systems are great. Even the children, I set them on a system. So they know what to do when this gets finished. They know where to get this. And that is not so much as a money saver. It's more just of a peace of mind. Exactly. I really don't need to be there. There are very few times they need to call me for this and the other. And this is because when as a single parent, you have to worry about everything. You really have to. All the errands are yours. All the garage, oh my goodness, I hate the garage. Every time the car has to go to the garage, that's you. The car wash. I mean, you guys, if you see single parents' cars are dirty, please leave us alone. We don't have time to go to a car wash. We barely have time to go to a salon. Those things are just serious luxuries for people like us. So when you set systems, you at least can worry about, now the garage, there's nothing you can do about it. Gari iko na kelele. It's going to stall on you at some point.
In the garage?
Well, they better take time, but then they fix.
No, but what I'm saying, every time that you're supposed to be at the garage 2 to 5, make it 2 to 9 p.m.
And money. And money as well. It is what it is.
It is
exactly.
What it is.
So if you had said I'm coming back at 5, but you're still there at 9, and they're seated waiting because you didn't say what we are eating, this doesn't work. Doesn't work. Let there be systems so that life can continue. Even if you're absent for even a day or two, life continues.
If I can just add on to that and maybe just build on it a little bit in terms of structure and system. I know this might not be everybody's cup of tea, but personally I usually say children strive and they excel in structure. And part of it for me, I would say something that I really appreciate that I did earlier on, when my daughter was 9 months old, I sleep trained her. 9 months. So what that meant for me as a mother is that I was able to actually get time for myself.
For yourself.
And there's nothing you're doing if you don't check on your mental health as a mother. By the way, it will be chaos because you're the center of that home. If you don't check yourself, and just have that moment where you have a break, it will be chaos. And you bring the energy, or you dictate how the energy in that home will be. So if you're feeling restless and unsettled, guess what? The entire home, including the nanny, there will be that just anxiety and restlessness. So for me, I feel like just sleep training your kids earlier on. So my daughter, I started sleep training her very early. And simple things, borrowing from what you're saying, systems and structures. Simple things like, for example, on school days, Monday to Thursday, there's no TV. So by the way, imagine in my house, we can just sit down and people come and ask, you guys are not switching on the TV. We are so used to it. She's 12 now. I started it when she was 9 months. She doesn't even see it as a big deal. She gets to rest. and she gets to go to sleep early, that means she has enough rest for tomorrow. And guess what? After she goes to sleep early, that means the nanny sleeps early, right? And that means mommy can be able to put her feet up, have a glass of wine, and unwind. And then tomorrow, mommy will be in such a good mood, she can be able to carry on her days. And I started that early. That has really helped me. It became part of the culture in my house. And, we are able to just have that tranquility.
Structures. I love that. I also have worked on structures a lot in my house. When you talk about sleep training, I remember my children are very close in age. They're just 1 year, 7 months apart. And I remember going to buy a book called How to Solve Your Child's Sleeping Problems. I bought that book for 3,000 bob. Way back then, those days, I was stressed.
You were going crazy, huh?
I was going crazy. I was going nuts. And the worst part is the person taking my brain and making me crazy. I'm pregnant. So as I'm busy telling her, please sleep, babe, I'm pregnant. And I'm thinking, Aki, I think I'll run away.
Oh, wait. The person you're buying the book for, you have another one coming.
Yes. See, I'm telling you, they're close in age.
So you see motivation.
Yeah, so you see, I was pregnant when she was 9 months.
Oh my gosh.
So you see that 9 months, you're saying you're sleep training. So you see, that's why I'm nanganaring with sleep training and putting structures, and I'm pregnant. Akimi, I used to say to Gawana, hizi chromosomes kila mtu arudi kwao. It was hard. But I nanganad with it. It wasn't easy. Mine were not easy to sleep train, but I eventually did it. I feel like my kids are very rough on the first year, but everyone will tell you, as toddlers, they are, as you're saying, structures. I mean, they know what time to go to bed. They know after a snack I'm going to sleep and all that. They're so organized. I stopped waking my children up to go to school. I don't know. I think they were in class 3 or 4. They could use an alarm. They could use an alarm, wake up. This day I don't even know. They knock at my door to tell me, we're ready, come and drop us. Like, I don't wake them up. It's only the youngest who's woken up because she's still a baby. The others, they are completely self-managed. And so you have to, building those structures really, really helps. And starting when they're young, it will save you a lot as a mother. Otherwise, as you said, you will go crazy. You will go crazy.
Okay. Any other hack for us?
Any other hack? I was thinking of something and now it wants to disappear from my head. Yes, shopping. And I did a video on 18 things that I no longer buy. And I talked a lot about this, but I'm not even sure if I talked about it enough. School uniform, school books, stationery, all those things are so expensive. I don't know if you've gone to a uniform shop and been given the price. I don't even know if I should go there. The price list. Now, like taking a child to Form 1, I remember these guys. Manze, you're being told tracksuit 5,000, blazer 5,000. You know all those things. Yani, I'm so careful with those things. I buy my uniform from Uhuru Market. And if I'm not buying my uniform from Uhuru Market, maybe it's something that I can't get there. I stitch. I buy the fabric and I have a skirt stitched. It will cost me literally half the amount that I will pay. So buying school uniform, I either will stitch or I'll buy from Uhuru Market. Buying school books, I am that mom of shorties, going to every chochoro in town. I will go to Mothurwa. I even exchange books. You can literally exchange books from one class to the other. You know? So if you have grade 2 books and you need grade 3 books, just keep your books there. You can give them and they give you, and maybe you top up just a little. Or you can buy second-hand books. Books are books. After all, see, we still hand
if the print is
down. You know, if the print is fine. So I don't mind buying second-hand books. I don't mind exchanging books. I don't mind buying even second-hand uniform. Shirts, trousers, secondhand, the quality, because it's Mark and Spencer, first of all. It's a good brand. You know, you cannot even compare how long they last to these other shirts you buy, the ready-made shirts. And I know people worry about logos and all those things. Let me tell you guys, in Uhuru Market, hakuna kitu utapata. Including the person who puts the logo. And they'll charge you something like 200 bob to put a logo. And once your logo has been done, you know, because they have to create it first in the system. Once it's in the system, it's like 100 bob per item. So I think that's a place where we spend
Zuhuru Market,
so much money.
The one on Jogoro?
The one on Jogoro.
Oh,
and that's where all uniform
even
comes
white
from.
shirts,
white shirts. Now,
them.
those ones I prefer thrift, by the way. But that's where all uniform comes from. If you, but you have to be careful to go at the right time, because if you go rush hour, then even the sellers are there picking for their shops in town and everywhere. So this guy
you go
to be so busy
in the middle of the term.
No, but like if you close school, especially when we were closing school proper holidays
yeah.
and most of us buy uniform end of year. So when we used to close in October, you go that October or early November. Don't wait for end of December and beginning of January to start running around with school uniform. As I said, it's going to be a cost. You're going to have to plan yourself well, but it is such a save. And even those books you can't find. Man, do you know there are bookshops all the way na huko kwa mabasi huko chini na huko chini.
That's true, by the way.
So many bookshops,
so many people selling
there.
books,
and
books.
It's cheaper. Even exercise books, it's cheaper. Stationery is cheaper, and the one thing I love is they cover the books. They cover the books. What? Like and it's like an after sale service. Like if you buy the books and you buy the covers, they're like, oh, so to the cover.
Wow. It's like buying vegetables and then they chop for you.
Going back with your books covered.
Wow.
You're like, this is such a save. This is such a save. For me, that
is a save for sure.
I always do that.
Amazing.
Yeah. The shops are too expensive.
Yeah.
That's great. Shall I? Do you have something?
We can. Anyone who has a last one? Maybe we can talk about maybe like money hack. I know money in this economy is a big one. So do you have any?
I have the ultimate one. I would say.
Okay.
I homeschool my children.
Oh yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Take us for dinner. You're rich. Do you know how much money school fees is?
I'm a teacher.
I'm sure you're spending still.
I'm a teacher. And for me, the biggest motivation was just being able to instruct my own children, especially at foundation level. I really just wanted to be the person to do it without pressure, at my own pace, at my kids' own pace. But obviously, that also means I don't pay school fees. I didn't pay school fees even then because as a teacher,
you get some
most schools.
We'll
my
give
kids
you
won't pay school fees. You'll buy stationery and stuff like that, which I obviously still do. But it comes for me with a lot of satisfaction as well, and also just time. I get to spend a lot of time, but also you save a lot. So even implementing all these things, structures and things like those, it's so much easier. Because there's no pressure. There's no we have to be in school by what time. It's very, very flexible.
You can. Oh my God! It just hit me. You can actually travel.
We can travel off peak. We don't have to take our holidays when everybody else is taking their holiday.
And that's a
huge save. We can take a holiday in the middle of February or March. And when you guys are going crazy in June and July and August, we are full on in our studies. We're not going anywhere. We're fine. Because maybe we're traveling in September or October or something like that.
Oh, amazing. But I have a question for you. In our, cultural setting, Kenyan, even just African in general, homeschooling is not that big, right? But I know it's coming up now. So how do you make sure that your kids socialize, or do you have like homeschooling groups? How do you just maintain that? And then because we have like major national exams and stuff like that, how do you make sure that they are at par according to the educational milestones?
So you align yourself to a certain curriculum, if you like. There are some who don't even do that. But you align yourself to a curriculum and you always have the objectives at the back of your mind. But what that does is that it gives you the freedom the children don't have to learn some things in the beginning of the year and this at the end of the year. You can stretch it out as much as you want. You can slow down. You can go faster if your child already picked up quickly. So you align yourself. So when you have a major exam year, then you either get in as a private student or you align yourself to a school and they get to do the assignment. Now, on the social bit, especially because of the pandemic, homeschooling was really taken up.
Yeah.
Because obviously kids were at home and not a lot of schools were ready for this online thing. It wasn't working out.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have taken that up, but there were homeschoolers even before.
Yeah.
And so we have groups where we socialize, we do our swimming lessons together, art lessons, field trips, and a lot of things like those ones. So they know each other.
Yeah.
And we had even gotten to a point at one point where we were even schooling them together.
Yeah.
Like my neighbor and I.
Okay.
So, we took some subjects and she takes others. So they're still, not by themselves. Yeah.
Can you, personally, I've looked at homeschooling, and the thing that I know is that I cannot do it.
Yeah.
Can you get tutors?
Yeah.
There's a time I was thinking, hey, can you get tutors? Come and train
a lot
kids?
of people do that. A lot of people have a tutor. You pay a tutor to homeschool your, say, 3 children, and is able to differentiate again among the 3 children. Some people do online. They have this online, they have this like centers who offer online lessons. And others like me do it ourselves.
Yeah, you're a teacher by profession, so that makes it easy.
And there are people who are not teachers who also do it themselves. But for me, I feel like it's easier for me just being a teacher. It makes it easier.
I feel like that's a really big saver, like financially, because school fees in this Kenya or ours is so expensive.
Crazy.
And so I'm thinking they were like you, for example, with three children
and ranging that age range, high school, upper primary, man, it's quite a chunk of change. Okay, do you have a last one, or maybe I can just give my last one before we close? I have one.
Okay.
And this is financial, as you said. Lately, I mean, for the last, I think, year or so, or maybe 2, I've been using a lot of money market fund savings. And the reason I love them is because they usually, when it comes to like fixed deposit, a long time ago, you used to be told the minimum amount is you have to put in 500,000 to start a fixed deposit or something like that. I know guys have become more flexible, but I usually, and this is not a plug of any kind, I usually use CIC. And the good thing is you can put any amount. So you have 500, you have an extra 1,000, and any of that money, you just channel it to your money market fund, and it's earning an interest. And normally you will not see the advantage when you're putting it in until it accumulates. I've even had guys online talking about putting literally their school fees in there. And so it's earning money, and maybe you're paying to the school pole pole, maybe in installments and everything. The good thing is, as easy as it is to put it in, it's as easy to remove it.
Take it out.
You just tell them, I need this amount of money, and you can remove it in 2-3 days. So it's very, very liquid. But at the same time, you're able to save easily. You have an app, you can use M-Pesa, you can put it in easily, you can remove it easily. So for me, that has been a good hack, because saving is not easy.
No.
Money has legs. It grows legs when it's in our pockets. You just keep it there long enough, it's gone. So I love it because it's quick, it's easy, it's fast, in and out, and I can see something growing. And by the way, the minute it starts growing and you see it's an amount, it becomes like a challenge for you. Every time you have some extra money, you're like, hey, put it there, put it there. And I really love the money market funds that we have. And personally, I use CIC, and I'm really loving it.
I think my last point is actually tied to that, so I'm really glad that you brought it up. I also use CIC, by the way, and have
Me too, actually.
Oh, really? Guys, we've not discussed
They need
this.
to pay.
CIC, sponsor this video,
They need
maybe.
to sponsor.
So I use it as well, and this is such a coincidence, and I think I agree with you in terms of the fact that, you can be able to earn some good interest and compound it. So my next hack, I think, is related to that. And for me, I think this is not just for moms. I think people should pick it up. But more so as a single mom, it has really helped me financially. And the hack is budgeting. And when I say budgeting, it's budgeting everything. And when I mean everything, I mean even entertainment. Budget everything. So, sometimes I like to travel, and once in a while I'll vacation. And I've had a few friends ask me, how do you do it? And especially because you're a single mom. People think because now you're a single parent, you shouldn't afford everything. But the truth of the matter is I budget and plan ahead of time. So you might see me take a trip next year, but maybe I started planning for it 2 years ago. I know how much it costs, and I ask myself, how much can I contribute every month towards that project? So I work backward. I know I can contribute, let's say 2,000. It's costing me a certain amount of money, so that means I need 2 years to save, and I start from there. But the most important is just budget everything. For example, if your budget, so first and foremost, my first expense is savings.
So take out the savings first.
Yeah, that is my first. At the very top is savings. Even if it's 20 shillings, it's my first expense. And I don't look at it as savings. I actually call it an expense. So that I know it's not mine, it's for the future. It's not for now. Optional. And it's not optional. And then I list down everything else I want to do, including home improvements. Like women, you go to the supermarket, you see a mug that you like. I even have a budget line called home improvement for random things that you see in the supermarket. And then what happens is, because sometimes, of course, life happens, and, maybe like grocery shopping, budgets exceed. Let's say it exceeded by, 3,000. That means there's a 3,000 somewhere in the budget that has to give, whether it's home improvement, whether it's for, whatever it is. And so that it's not too tough, I also have a line called pocket money. This is where now you can have some money in your purse you don't need to account for. This one when you go for flexibility, so that you have that freedom, right? So budget everything: airtime, water, pocket money, entertainment, eating out on Sunday, if that's your thing. Budget for everything. When that line depletes, that's it, or borrow from elsewhere. And most importantly, the first line is savings. So start early, including the trips. If Christmas is big for you, there are people who Christmas is big. Start in January. Don't wait for October, November, and you're thinking, hey,
what am I going to
do December? Because if you're in your business, you're not waiting for salary. Right? Start from early, and don't be afraid to make small steps. At the end of the day, the interesting thing about people is that they'll just see the vacation. They'll not see the effort you put in. So do it, stick to it. There are many apps nowadays that also, I'm an app person. There are many apps that help you with the budget. If you'd like, comment, I'll share some of those budgeting apps. And then save. Do not save in the bank. I'm sorry. Your money will not work for you in the bank. Save in circles, save in money market funds, so that you can be able to compound. And I think that's a hack, not just for moms, but I think for everybody.
That's great. Thank you very much. Honestly,
I
could borrow something.
The saving one, I've struggled with it.
Me too.
No, not the saving one, the budgeting one. The budgeting one. That line by line, every little thing, and then I've always struggled with it.
And instead of even looking at it as lines, you can look at it as every line is an envelope. If that envelope is over, it's over.
I think it would work better for me that way, actually.
You can even think about it like, the way our grandmother used to put
in little
envelopes, and you finish. I think
about it that way.
Go back
physical
to that.
envelope. What's your M-Pesa envelope?
Yeah.
That M-Pesa envelope, you can
everything is in it.
and get amnesia, selective amnesia. I didn't know it was over.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to go back to physical envelopes.
Too convenient to pay through M-Pesa.
Yeah.
And M-Pesa can access your account.
Yeah.
It's the convenience is too much.
It's too much.
That's what I'm saying. Might not work.
Might not work. So so guys, I hope you've learned a little bit of something today. Borrow tips from these wonderful ladies. From Irene and Harry Lifestyle, you can borrow DIY tips. She has amazing. In fact, recently I watched the yogurt one, which really challenged me. So yogurt recipes, how to make it at home, granola and all that, borrow from there. Homeschooling, if you have questions on homeschooling, let us hear from you. Comment, ask questions, and we'll be able to guide. And from my end, budgeting and stuff like that, comment. I'll be happy to help where I can. Any last words before we close, ladies?
Just start where you are. Start implementing something small. Don't get overwhelmed. Just start somewhere and keep building on it.
Yeah.
That's true.
For sure.
And if you make a mistake today, It's all good.
It's all
Forgive
good.
yourself.
Forgive yourself.
And-
Start again tomorrow.
Yeah. So guys, as usual, like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. We'd like to hear from you. Drop your comments, email us, whatever works for you. And until next time, bye.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong.